Just pray in the Spirit for 1 minute. Ask the Holy Spirit to grant to help. Hallelujah. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Now, first of all, I want to appreciate everybody who took our time to be here despite the rain. The Lord bless you in the name of Jesus. I said, the Lord bless you in the name of Jesus. You put through the rain to be here. You know, I've said often times that, oh Holy Spirit, I've said often times that there are a couple of things that defines your spirituality. It's your depth of spirituality, your level of spirituality, either ways. All right. So I think even in MBI I must have mentioned that I don't just stay with me. I'm trying to find an angle and hold there. So, but then just follow me. So I told us that there are a couple of things that defines your level of spirituality. All right. I said number one is your what? Your level of prayer and fasting. Of course. Let's start here first. One is what? Prayer and fasting. So I'll start there. I don't care how much you brag about spirituality, how much you think you are spiritual. Listen, if your prayer and fasting life is under attack, your spiritual life is under attack. And let me tell you, we're in a season where people can tell you, oh, go to Bible and preach that. Let me tell you, never joke with prayer. For as much as you can. What did I say? Never joke with prayer. Never joke with prayer. Very soon I will say something. Let me tell you, I told them the other day, I think it was in the leadership training, I told them that, you see, as we begin to grow something, one is that I think I told us that everything grows. As a believer now, or as a Christian leader, that you build something, you end up building anything because of two things. Because you understood structure and you understood what? Spirituality. And I told them that, you see, let me tell you, with or without spirituality, you can still build something, except that you still need to keep deploying that same means you used, you understand, to sustain that thing. So if you used manipulation, carnality to build anything, you keep deploying that means to what? And you don't know how stressful carnality is. Hey, you think spirituality is hard? Try flesh. It's a very difficult thing. I'm being honest. Now you see, the difference is this, is that if you want to build anything and you want to truly do it the way spirituality ought to be done, it will take more time. Now, but if you want to do it your own way, it will take a shorter time. The problem is that now, if you start building it your own way, make up your mind to keep deploying that same process to sustain it. Very dangerous thing to do. Yes. So back to this thing. I said number one is what? Is prayer and fasting. Yes. Don't tell me this season I'm not praying much, I'm not fasting much. Listen, if your prayer life has issues, your spiritual life has issues. Are we together? Yes. Don't tell me I'm not praying much this season. Don't tell me I'm not fasting much this season. At least there ought to be a healthy level of what? Prayer investment. Oh God, I'm just getting distracted. Are we together? Yes. A healthy level of what? prayer investment and fasting investment. I think about 2 years ago, I taught a topic called the 7 years of famine. You heard that right? Yes. 7 years of famine. And I said, just like the Bible told us in Egypt that there was 7 years of abundance and 7 years of of total scarcity. Your life is that way. Yes, there comes a season where you have many things in abundance. You have strength in abundance. You can fast as much as you can. You have time in abundance. You can pray as much as you can. I'm here to announce to you a season is coming again. Yes, another season is coming. Where even if you decide to pray that much, you won't have that much time. Even if you decide to fast that much, your body won't permit you as much. Are we together? Yes. So wisdom, listen, wisdom demands that now that you have abundant time and abundant energy, start let me tell you, Joseph told Pharaoh, he told him he said, first of all will come a season of abundance. But you see, the funny thing was that if you check the dream of Pharaoh, he first said that there were fat cows. You remember that story? Yes. Then came the lean ones. Now he said the lean ones ate up the fat ones, but that was not the end of the story. He said even when they behead the lean ones, nothing about them changed. I mean, it was still like as though they never ate any. They just finished fat cows in that same way. Let me tell you, in your season of scarcity, I follow me now. If you don't handle your time of abundance carefully, we will look at you that nothing about you will tell us that you once experienced abundance. Have you ever had money before? Just had money, and then suddenly another season came. You know how many people know that those things can alternate? Yes, it just comes, and then one uncle there sends you. It's as though the upland 4 people sends you money, and then you are just having a good life, and then suddenly here comes a season. You are texting them, uncle, how are you doing? How is your family? Have you eaten today? Nobody's. In fact, they will open the message. They do not respond to it. Do you understand? Then you start leaning. And everything about you will end up not showing that there was once upon a time you once had thousands in your account. So Pharaoh now told Moses. Joseph told Pharaoh, told him first of all will come a time of abundance. He said you've got to do something with that season so that when next come. Let me tell you, see, I told us in that message, there are some things you can't avert. There are things you can't avert. You can't help it. I think I met somebody yesterday in the house, and she was maybe just being a little bit depressed and all of those. I told her, listen, now first of all I told her that each time I feel this way, 2 things. Number one is that I told the person, number one is that try as much as possible not to convince yourself that you are in hold of your own. I told the person, this thing you are going through now, everybody's is going through it. Yes, everybody said there is nothing you've gone through that is not common to all men. Everybody is going through it. That the moment the devil isolates you and puts you in a world of your own and tell you that now, you see, everybody's life is just and except my own. I don't know what I've done to life and everything. I said, you've lost. But then I told the person, the second thing I tell myself is that this is life. You can't be happy for it. Hey, do you understand? Yes. So if you're happy at that moment, Bible says there is a time to cry. You understand? Yes. I told the person that now that you are sad, do you understand? Yes. Part of the things that will bring you out of the sadness is knowing that it does it will be short-lived. Are we together? Yes. So now there are some things you can't pray away. You can't pray away old age. A time is coming when your strength will be weak. Are we together? Yes. A time will come where you will not have enough time. You can't pray that season away. You can't pray it away. Are we together? You can't pray it away. So you can only but prepare for that season. You can't navigate yourself away from that from that season. Amadi, are we together? Yes. You can't do what? You can navigate yourself away from that season. That season is going to come. It is going to come. Hey, it's going to come. I'm telling you the truth. Anyway, number 2, I told us that part of the things that makes up your spiritual life, one is prayer and fasting. Number 2 is word study. I said number 3 is sexual purity. I said number 4 is Number 4 is kingdom service. I mean, that's what brought me here. Yes. I mean, pure passion that outweighs external resistance. So most times when people meet me and say, "Sir, my spiritual health is having issues," I ask the person, "Which one are you talking about? Do you mean your prayer life and fasting life? Do you mean that your word study is having issues? Do you mean that you are becoming highly immoral? Or do you mean that what? Your passion for kingdom service is beginning to what? It's beginning to deflect." I think the final one is financial integrity. Yes, that something is beginning to be wrong with your spiritual life where you can do any and everything to get money. Very subtle something. Very subtle. Are we together? Yes. I think when I taught this, and I told them that for instance, one of the best ways to open yourself to immorality is through food. The moment your fasting life has been affected, you understand? Yes, immorality what was having expression. Now, why, Mereije? I don't know. You understand? I just don't know. But at least I found in the scriptures that Esau, who did business with food, you understand, later on was called a fornicator. You understand? I never saw it fornicated. All I knew was that what? He had a very bad attitude towards food. At the end of the day, what happened? He was called a fornicator. He gave something in exchange what? For food. At the end of the day, Bible looked at him and said the problem was lost. So if you realize that you are beginning to force yourself to do the things you ought to do, your service in the house of God, your service up to God, and all of this. Listen. If let me say this thing. I hope you know that the prayer you pray in your secret place is different from, like now, if you say now that you have Sunday prayers, you understand? Yes, or those who do intercessory. I hope you know those two prayers are two different kinds of prayer. The one you do in your secret place is self. That one you come out to do. Bible told us about a woman called Anna the prophetess. Bible told us that she served the Lord what? In prayers and in fasting. You can serve in prayer. That one is not self. You understand? Yes, that one is service. So I'm trying to say that each time your service life is affected, that part of prayer will be affected as well. So we say, let's come together, let's pray. Now you can pray alone, no? But if you say what? Let's come together. It's as though you are just deflated. There is no strength. It means your service life has been what? Has been affected. Are we together? Yes. Just needed to say that if you came here tonight, I mean, you did everything possible to come here. Congratulations. Hallelujah. Now to my topic. Believers, what? Identity. How many of you were blessed last week? Tonight. Now I'm praying 1 minute. I'm gonna rush. I plan to teach this and finish it in the next one. Holy Spirit of God. Let it show that I've met with you. 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 Jesus. Kaparatilo sabra kapaparata. All right. So last week I told us that there are 4 things you've got to know. I said number 1 what? That's oh God. That to apprehend results. Number 1 is that what? You need to what? Know God. Daniel 11 what? 32 I told us that them who what? Who do know their God shall be what? Strong and do what? Are we together? Yes. I said number 1, know God. Number 2, what? You've got to understand men. You were there, right? Yes. Number 3, what? Understand yourself. Understand systems. Understand money. And understand the what? The devil. You were there, right? You were there. Thank you very much. So, and I told us that. But then this topic exactly is what is an attempt to deal with what? Knowing who now? Knowing yourself. Are we together? Knowing who now? Knowing yourself. I told us that. Listen to me. Listen. You see, your knowledge of yourself eventually is going to affect both the way you see people, both the way you see life, and your respect and your response to what? All of them. Are we together? Yes. The way you see people, the way you respond to people, the way you see life, and the way you respond to life is a function of the way you what? You see yourself. Listen, you see everything from the lens of your own understanding of yourself. Very much important. Listen, follow me. And I said that it's important you what? You gain accurate self-awareness, self-identity. Who am I? Who am I? And it's, let me tell you, listen, because much more important, because everybody has self-awareness. Yes, now, isn't that what people do? About to enter a relationship, say I'm looking for somebody who is going to accept me how? The way I am. To me, there is now the person has a perception of him or herself. Are we together? Yes. Now, but let me tell you, much more important than knowing yourself is first investigating the source of that knowledge. Now, listen, please follow me carefully. What did I say? Much more important. So before you tell people accept me for who I am, please first tell me who are you and how did you know? No, we want to probe the source of that information, the source of that knowledge. Follow me carefully. Now, because we are saying now that what the eyes of your understanding have to what? Have to come alive. To mean that you've got to know yourself. To mean that, oh my goodness, there's got to be a what? An awakening. An awakening. That your eyes need to be what? Need to be open. That you've got to start seeing yourself from a certain light. But let me tell you something very important. It's not just God that opens the eyes of men. Are we together? What did I say? It's not just God, because both Adam and Eve experienced an awakening. Their eyes was what? Was open. But I'm here to tell you, listen, because like I said, and listen shortly, it's important to probe and to understand where you got the information you have about yourself. Very much important. Listen, don't tell me, well, the problem with that is this. There is a kind of information, because what happened to Adam and Eve is that they received a kind of knowledge that perpetually kept them away from the truth for life. Do you hear me? They received a kind of knowledge that what? Kept them away what? From the real truth all through their life. So it's important to what? To probe and investigate, to understand where you got the information you have about yourself. Who told you? How did you know? What you know now, because listen, when God came in the book of Genesis, he was much more interested in who told them. He said, who told you? How did you know? How did you come about this knowledge? Just in case you think it's not enough to tell me you know something about yourself. No, knowledge comes with an energy, and you can, and like I told you, many people today, because of the source of the information or where their knowledge of themselves came from, they can't know themselves what again except God intervenes. I will explain. How did you know yourself? The knowledge of yourself you have right now, how did it come? And then I was telling somebody yesterday or the first day, I told the person, on this matter, it's like what you call the law of first mention. You have to first investigating to understand where was the first time somebody or an experience attempted to introduce you to you. Please follow me. I'm telling you how to find yourself first. When was the first time? Who did it first? What did it first? Who was that person and what was that person? Sorry, and what was that thing that attempted first hand to introduce you to you? For some of us, it was our parents. Please follow me carefully. It was what? Our parents. Now, there was something they told you about yourself. Are we together? And you grew up knowing that thing as you. Are we together? Yes. Some of you now, if I ask you now, how? For instance, some people know it or thinking they are lawyers. I'm going to be a lawyer. You know why? Because growing up, people looked at you and said, look at how you argue. You can talk, you're a lawyer. Isn't that what they say? You're a what? And you see, as funny as that is, somebody, an external person is introducing you to you. And just in case nothing is happening, many things are happening. No, just in case you think, no, because you can live all through your life never finding yourself because of that little experience. Oh, yes. Some of you now, I can ask you, how did you know you're intelligent? Now, for some persons now, in their mind, they are not intelligent. You know why? Maybe they grew up in a family where they have siblings that maybe were more academically sound than them. You understand? But they keep receiving, you understand? This person is, and the person grew up knowing that I'm not the academic type. Now, you see, that statement, you were not born with that statement. Somebody said it. Now, somebody introduced that version of you to you. Yes. What experience made you feel like you are not a stage person, a public person? Because, like I said, it's called what? A first mention. To mean that we have to first probe the first person, first experience that attempted to introduce you. Some of you, it was primary school, secondary school, maybe debate, maybe presentation. You came out to do something, and all of a sudden, people were laughing. You felt embarrassed. What you don't know is that what? You just had an encounter. You just had an encounter with yourself, or a version of yourself. That didn't happen when you were 8. Now you are 25, and you are still telling us, I'm not the kind of person who speaks on the stage. How did you know? Who told you? How did you even know what happens to people when they're on the stage? Oh yes. Are we together? I'm trying to help you understand. Because when God met Adam and Eve, he told them, this thing you guys now know about yourself, I want to know who told you this thing. How did the knowledge of yourself in these guys come about? Am I communicating? Are we together? Hello, what was the first thing or the first person? Some of you was probably your first relationship. First romantic relationship. Yes, the person treated in a certain way or said some things to you that like I said, you may think nothing happened, but now you have an encounter. You've encountered a version of yourself. Now listen, and that encounter did not need your willingness to make you believe. And now you believe this is me. Now you found somebody treating you a certain way, and you know, no, I'm not worth more. That is, I'm worth less than this treatment. Are we together? Yes. To mean that now something happened to you, or somebody says something to you that introduced a lower version of yourself to you. Now, in as much as that introduction did not consult your willingness, now you're what? You've believed it. And now you keep living all through your life functioning with that identity. So before we start talking about changing identity, you have to first acknowledge that this one you have came from somewhere. This one you have came from somewhere. Are we together? It came from somewhere. Yes. Now for some of us, maybe you just wanted to, pray for the sick, and suddenly you just branded yourself. Maybe I'm not the kind of people that pray for the sick. Let me just place the. And you see that experience or what just gave you an encounter. This you that you know who told you. I'm telling you so that you can think, who told you? When God appeared, he asked Adam, who told you? How did this knowledge come? No, listen, everything you know today, somebody told you. That's the point. Someone told us, everything you know today, somebody told you. You either heard it from somebody, read it from somewhere. Now, but then, so at this point, I'm not asking you where you told. I'm sure you told. I'm only asking who told you. Now, I'm trying to tell you the source of people's problem. Because listen. You see, the problem with some people, listen, like I said, the first set of people are people who got their identity through a source that is not the original source. Are we together? Now, you see, but some persons, as they began to grow, they began an earnest, sincere search of themselves. You understand? Yes. They began to now you see, they tried every possible means to understand themselves or to discover their identity. They could not. And you see, what they started doing was that they started looking for themselves either in other places, in experiences, or in commendations. So they are trying to know themselves by listening to what people are saying about them. You understand? Or trying to watch their let me tell you, any source that sponsors their identity, I've told you guys, it's part of the law of creation. You understand that if something sorts something, you understand? Yes, that thing will have to perpetually remain in its source to be sustained. That's the word Abba Father. You understand? Source and what? And sustainer. The problem is this, that anything that forged and introduced you to yourself, you understand, you need to be perpetually hooked to it in order to maintain your identity. So if what you know about yourself now, for instance, or how you got to know that you are intelligent is that growing up you were having first, and suddenly an experience now convinced you that what you are intelligent. Now you are what? University, and then your grades are what? Yes, you see, now that experience is no longer potent enough to keep that identity again. Are we together? Yes. That experience has become weak. It can't hold that identity again. In the same way, now some of you, how you got to know something about yourself, how you got to know that you are very, very ambitious, you got to know that you are very, very purpose driven, vision driven, is that people kept telling you, and here comes a season, nobody is saying it. And you think that just because people are saying it, can without them saying it, just keep it. It doesn't happen that way. That's why it's important to probe the source of this what? Identity. You've got to be sure that the source of the identity is very stable. Are we together? It's very what? It's very stable. Very stable, that it cannot vacillate. Be the positive things or the negative things you know about yourself. I'm telling you the truth, because let me tell you, I hope you know, God cannot use you beyond your knowledge of yourself. No, it's not possible, sir. The best God can help you do is to keep forcing you to what? To start seeing yourself from a different light. That's the reason why when Jeremiah told God, he said what? For I'm a what? I'm a what? I'm a child. I'm just a boy. He told him what? Don't say that. Don't say that. Because it matters to God how you see yourself and what you call yourself. He can't use you beyond it. Please follow me carefully. So the last time you told somebody, I'm this kind of person, my question to you is simple. How did you know? Where did that knowledge come from? Where did that knowledge come from? I'm an ambitious person. How did you know? You see, I'm not the kind of person that talks in public. How did you know? So what you have is acquired identity. None is original. And like I said, it's like trying to immunize somebody. You understand? You are immunized. You are being shielded from the original. You understand? Two of us now. Are we together? Yes. In the same way, it's like trying to receive the pseudo version of something. Understand? Yes. Now when you receive that kind of knowledge, now the issue with that kind of knowledge is that you have it and it has kept you away from the root roots. So in the journey of first trying to know yourself, it starts with what? First unlearning. Yes. Not just unlearning the knowledge, unlearning the source. You've got to disconnect yourself from the source of that knowledge. Oh, Jesus. Let me tell you something very important. Growing up as a believer, now I'll be preaching in classes, and then after preaching, if I start praying, hey Chineke, like now I will come downstairs rehab and sure you are the person that was everywhere. I say bro, now what for you can pray now, and I will go home. You understand? Then I will now preach to my sisters. You understand? Now they will hear me praying inside. Then I will now come and I'll come out and they will tell me, we feel like you pray better than you can preach. Did you hear me? What did I say? We feel that what? You pray better than what you can preach. Now I will just laugh. They kept saying it. They kept saying it. Just watch. Listen. Up until E&I has what started. Oh, I went home. Now the last time they saw me was years ago. They told me, we feel like what you can't preach that. You are more of a prayer person. That now, because when they knew me, you understand, I prayed often. Up together. Now one of my sisters now saw when I was getting my clips. You cannot preach now. Now listen. No, calm down. You see how that thing just changed. To me, that the source of that knowledge was not stable. No, do you know this thing so much affected me then that we went to a retreat. It was a fellowship retreat, and they were asking you what's the people, and they asked me what's the people. I said my purpose to I forgot it, but I just said through prayer and do something, because I felt like I don't have any life as I pray. I don't understand, because that's what people kept saying. But thank God for an encounter that truly introduced me to me. That's what we're going to next. Yes. God is very interested in who told you. He is very interested in who introduced you to you. I told us that was what Jesus had to resist. He was resisting the temptation to allow an experience define his identity. They told him, if you are the Son of God, if you truly tell us, if you truly want to convince us you are the Son of God, on this stone to bread. If you want to tell us what you are intelligent, pass that exam. No, if you want to tell us you are anointed, cast away this demon. Are we together? To me, now engage in something that can now begin to tempt you to build your identity around the result. And Jesus resisted it. Now he did not resist it because he can't put stone to. But the question is, if next time he something. Now what that thing will do to him is that suddenly he will start to question his what? Identity. True, I be Son of God, bro. I mean, but how come this water no great turn to pan here, bro? Do you get? Yes. But he resisted it. He wanted to do it because what it should be done, not because so as to prove to you. Now I'm telling you what many of you do, you know. I'm telling you the truth. You received maybe mentation when you wear a particular kind of clothes, and then suddenly you start sewing all your clothes that way. You start sewing all your clothes that way. You are trying, and then you're ever angry that any day you wear this kind of clothes, nobody sees you. But the day you wear rubbish, everybody will see you. Now you feel like people should see you when you wear that kind of clothes. Let me tell you, what you just did is that what you are beginning to build an identity around what? Commendation. Are we together? Yes. And I hope you know you are dealing with human beings. They tell you depending on how they feel. I'm not saying don't receive. You understand? Now I'm trying to say receive it. You know, a man met Jesus and told him, you're a very good man. He asked me a question. Why do you call me good? Yes. It's not just important to keep receiving all of those comments. No, you have to first calm down. And why did the person say I'm quite very beautiful? Because the person said it, and now you start, and you don't know the pain of building identity around all of those things until when the same source that once commended you start criticizing. I mean, the same source, the same person that once commended you start criticizing you. Let me tell you an example of that experience. In secondary school, they knew me as I was very good in physics. I mean, as SS1, SS2, I was going to states competition. Now we went to WAEC. You know WAEC? WAEC. I read the WAEC like as I was in first year. I was reading. Do you know there's this textbook about this first year textbook of physics? I was reading it by WAEC instead of reading the one they gave us. I mean, I had that level of confidence. So I entered exam hall, wrote. Now when I came out, sincerely, I felt that did not go well, but nobody believed me. Do you understand? Yes. So I'll just tell you the exam. I don't think about it. It's okay, don't worry. And guess what? Physics became one of my lowest. You understand? In my WAEC result. But now, you see, the same time, because SS2, SS was teaching people physics and further maths. Now, my group chats, you understand? I was teaching physics, teaching further maths. They brought it out, you understand? That ChukwuMereije did not pass. He did not pass very well in what? 6. I was depressed for like almost 2 weeks. Very much depressed. Because people compared me, the same people tearing me apart. Are we together? Yes. And I'm trying to say now, you see, I'm not trying to people commend you. Don't start looking at them with one, but I'm trying to say, listen, don't build anything substantial around that. Don't build anything substantial around it. You don't know human beings, so Bible said that Jesus did not commit himself to men because he knew men. You don't know human beings. Can I be honest with you? Very serious statement. People will keep listen. People will keep commending you and supporting you when your growth becomes a threat to them. Am I communicating? What did I say? They will keep commending you, supporting you until your growth start threatening what? Yeah. And let me tell you, listen, not everybody should. That moment it will take the Holy Ghost having worked on your heart to keep commending that person and keep supporting that person. I'm telling you the truth. Yes. So the person is criticizing you like, oh well, I love you so much, and that's why I'm telling you to. Now the person is trying to make you feel bad. Now, and even the person doing it is wondering, I know myself, I'm not this bad now. I'm not this bad. But suddenly you are beginning to feel somehow. I'm telling you now, some of you, your motivation for life and success is telling you, oh, we love your drive, oh, we love your this, oh, and that is your motivation. Get ready for life. No, get ready to face men. Except they don't know men. Somebody's identity. I would like to ask again, what you know about yourself? Who told you? Don't tell me nobody. You were told. Maybe from someone you trust. And you see, let me tell you, like I said, it's like trying to somebody. Listen, if I tell you, look now, you are a this or somebody who does this better. Let me tell you, you don't know the effect of that thing until the day God wants to change it. Listen, it will be so difficult for God to change, as though a spirit has crafted something into you. Oh yes, that's important. So take commendations, take all of those things, but ensure you know yourself. Let me tell you, most people now, their problem were their experiences. Now their identity came from what? How did you know you're not a business type? I mean the business type. How did you know? Now because I've heard people say it, I'm not the what? The business type. How did you know? That statement came from where? Who or what introduced that statement to you? Maybe you tried a particular business, maybe for somebody, and the person told you, please from today, give me. From today, just never try business. So you can get 95. And yourself, I told them, I'm not a business type. And you adopted that identity, that ideology and mindset. I'm not the what? The business type. So I'm taking this in gently here so that you can think alongside me. I told you guys now that I went to go and preach. We went for practical this. After preaching, came down. A broke music. See, I'm very close to you. So I know that this I'm telling you now, nobody will tell you. But I'm sincere enough to tell you, leave preaching. You can try every other thing. Maybe prayer, writing something, but leave what? Preaching. I died. In that day I was sweating. I thought heaven came down, only for me to come down and telling me that out of love I should leave preaching. Are we together? Yes. So I want to first clear the ground, and this thing demands that you have to first think and ask yourself. Let me tell you, don't just say that just because what you know about yourself are good things, that is not necessary to now probe the source of that knowledge. Let me tell you, you soon lose it. There is something we call the battle of identity. You understand? Listen, your identity has not been tested. Yes. Because why I'm teaching this thing is so that when your identity comes under warfare, you keep standing. You keep standing. I'm trying to say, for instance, a woman gets married and for 10 years she doesn't get pregnant. You see, that experience is questioning her identity. She's a woman, she should get pregnant. Are we together? She's a what? A woman, she should get pregnant. Now, but guess what? Just imagine, please follow me. Just imagine somebody that told her you're a woman. Imagine. Are we together? What did I say? Just imagine it was what? Someone that told her you're what? You're a woman. And now 10 years she can't give birth. Be honest, if that was you, what would you do? Listen, and just let's say peradventure the person that told is now dead. Say, Kai, I'm deceived. You understand? I'm what? Yes, I was deceived. Now because your experiences is no longer looking like what you were told about yourself. Please touch me. Are we together? It's no longer what? Looking like what? What you were told about yourself. So I'm telling you this thing now so that when life start poking your heart, start throwing darts and arrows, attempting to question your identity, you keep standing. Are we together? You keep standing. Some people today, in their primary school, secondary school, they said, okay, fine, I will do masters, I will do this, but then they enter university, you understand, and life, and maybe college began to hit the person, and now the person is trying to be a business person. Say which kind of business. And you see, experiences has deflated the person's ambition, because now he or she built an identity around something that can facilitate. You understand? It's short lived, the lifespan is short. Are we communicating? Yes. So even if what you know about yourself is good and correct, please, before you go too far, sit down and be sure if the source of that knowledge was what? The right source. I'm trying to say, listen, I'm not begging you to go and look for the source. I'm trying to say, sooner or later, you'll be forced to start looking for the source. It's like you gave birth to a child, and the child is growing, and there is no father, and the child will not say anything. But sooner or later, everything what people are saying, you understand, experiences will start pressuring the child to what? I need to see my dad, I need to see my father. In the same light, sooner or later, the things you know about yourself, you start questioning. Please, who told me this thing? Who told me how did I even get to know I'm this kind of person? Are we together? One of the best prayers to pray about is, Lord, what? Introduce me to me. Let me tell you. Oh my God. Let me tell you. Please give me the book of. Please give me time. Luke chapter 9. I will show you something very important. Please ensure you understand this teaching. Ensure you understand it. Luke 9. From verse 55, 56. We read it last week. I will explain better this time. Everybody, please understand. Luke 5. I think I told us the background story here. They were passing the road. The Samaritans had issue with Jesus. You understand? Yes, and he wanted to pass their side, and they did not permit him. So the disciples got so angry, and they told him. But he turned. Okay. 54. Watch, everybody. And when his disciples James and John saw this, they said, Lord, willest thou that we command fire to come down from heaven and consume them, even as Elijah did? Please now watch. And when, oh God, and when his disciples, next verse now. But he turned and rebuked them and said, watch, ye know not what manner of spirit you are made of. Please watch me. Everybody listen. He told them, now you know what happened here? They wanted to act in a certain way, and he told them this kind of action is not consistent with the nature of spirit to have. Please follow me. You see, what we call spirit is not an invisible being. Are we together? What we call spirit is not an invisible being. No. What we call spirit is that invisible part of you, or the visible part of anything that controls the visible part. To me, anything you can see has the invisible part of it. You understand? Yes, if you can, anything you can see, stone, tree, has the what? That's why all of those things have what? They have spirits. If you can see it, it means there's what? Something behind it. Are we together? So what we call spirit is the real substance of a thing, the real essence of a thing. Are we together? It's like, if I stand now and this is my shadow, you understand? That shadow literally is called my body. This is called the what? It's called the spirit. To me, this is the spirit behind this body. If you watch me now, I have a what? A spirit behind this body. Are we together? Yes. Are we together? Yes. To mean that the real substance, the real essence of a thing is found where? Yes. Follow me. And the law of life suggests that, listen, that if you must live a life that reflects your identity, you must allow your spirit to teach you how to live, because the real definition of everything comes from their spirit. To me, you don't know anybody, you don't know anything until you know their what? Their spirit. So Bible now say what? No man what? After the flesh. So the real identity of everything, or the real identity of anything or everybody, is where? Is in their spirit. So first of all, if you want to live a kind, I'm trying to say you're a man because you have the spirit of a man. The difference between a man and an animal is not their face, is their spirit. Are we together? Now that's the reason why when they wanted to turn Nebuchadnezzar into an animal, what they changed was not his spirit, his heart. He said let his heart be turned. Are we together? Yes, he was still looking like a man, but has become an animal because the spirit has been altered. Because at the end of the day, you are expected to live reflecting the nature and the kind of the spirit to bear. Are we together? A tree is called a tree because it has the spirit of a what? Of a tree. The word spirit is called life. It's called life. Everybody, B-O-D-Y, not like everybody, you understand? Yes, is sustained by their spirit. James told us. He said just in the same way that faith without works is dead. He said in the same way a body without a spirit is dead. Everybody is kept by their spirit. Are we together? Please follow this teaching carefully. So each time God is relating with you, or for instance, if you meet an animal now, you meet the animal, hey, let's say rat, come. Don't do that, you understand? Because you know that instruction, because of the kind of nature that being has, he can't process it, he can't respond. You understand? To mean that each time you are relating with somebody, you are relating with that person, putting into consideration the nature of their spirit. Are we together? I'm trying to say, please follow me, that each time God is relating with you, he's not relating with you based on this body. He's relating with you considering the manner of spirit you have. Let me careful, I'm going somewhere. What did I say? He's relating with you considering the manner of spirit you bear. So these guys wanted to act in a certain way, and he referred them back. He was trying to tell them that before you act, you must learn to consult the nature and the kind of spirit you have. Are we together? Are we together? In the same way, now I'm trying to say, each time you stand before God and you are telling him you are scared, he's surprised, because he thinks, you don't know the kind of spirit you have. Yes, and now I'm telling you the reason why God can be giving you large instructions. He's scaring you to death. He's not looking at you. What he's looking at is what is the kind of spirit you are made of. Is the kind of spirit you are made of. And now I'm trying to say, in the same way, when you stand in front of a situation, in front of a demon, what you've got to conceive in your head is what I've got to understand the kind of spirit I'm made of. He told them what? No, he said what? You know not what manner of spirit you are what? You are of. That to me that you have a wiring that, oh my God. Listen, you see, in the book of 2 Timothy chapter 1 verse 7, it says, for you've not received barakata. Now you see, Bible is trying to tell you the kind of spirit made of. It's trying to tell you the real life that powers your existence. That, are we together? Now, to me, each time you act fearfully, God still tells
to this statement. He said, no, you not. The what? The manner of spirit you are made of. Each time God gives an instruction and you what? And you begin to shake, he tells you again. He keeps introducing you to you. Are we together? Yes. What happened to Gideon? Gideon did not know what the kind of spirit he was made of. He did not know, and the angel kept introducing to him. No, you've got to understand the kind of spirit you were made of. Moses, listen, yes, Moses probably may have had some speech impediment, but he did not know the impeccable ability residing in the kind of spirit he was made of. Now listen, I'm trying to say, each time God is relating with you, he's putting the kind of spirit you are made of. Yes, to mean that, listen, your hand can be caught and God will tell you, climb this tree. Yes, he's Kadilas, you don't understand? To mean that, listen, you can be failing exam now and God will tell you, go and apply for that what? Maybe a scholarship exam to go and write. I say, I never passed class exam. He said, no, what? You don't know the kind of spirit you're made of. What you are looking is the experience, not the spirit. No, you're not. The kind of spirit you are made of. So miraculous. I fire. No, you know the what? The kind of spirit made of. No, you're not. Let me tell you, I wish you can understand the potent power of the recreated spirit man. You don't know. Yeah, do you know sometimes? Listen. You can be praying this way, you can be praying, and suddenly you are getting tired. But then maybe somewhere along the line, you begin to what? Gain touch with what? With the strength of that spirit you're made of, and suddenly you realize that what? You were never created to be weak. Now, because now you are beginning to gain touch with what kind of spirit you are made of. He told them, no, you that you are thinking and acting this way because you don't know the kind of spirit you are made of. You don't know the kind of spirit you are made of. Each time maybe something happened and you say, oh, I'm finished, though, I'm a failure. He keeps telling you no. You don't know the kind of spirit you are made of. You don't know. You don't know the kind of spirit you are made of. I'm trying to tell you, listen, each time the devil begins to touch many things to make you to make you scared, this same statement, you've got to tell the devil, no, you don't know the kind of spirit I'm made of. You don't know the kind of spirit I'm made of. It's not my body. I can look small, I can look anything, but then guess what? You don't know. Bible said, no man after the flesh. No man after. You don't know the kind of spirit I'm made of. You don't know. Each time that be life, be the death, attempting to question yourself. You've got to replay them what? You don't know the kind of spirit I'm made of. You don't know the kind of spirit I'm made of. You don't know. Hello, Sabarakina Kabalakata. Sika Baboria Katika Balakata. Oh my God. Jesus. And you see, let me tell you, that's what happens in a place of prayer. As you begin to pray now, as you begin to pray, and then you realize that that the real substance of your being is in your belly. That the real substance of your being is in your belly. It's in your belly. Let me tell you, each time you are tempted to do something wrong, listen, remind the devil and remind yourself, you don't know the kind of spirit I'm made of. You don't know the kind of spirit I'm made of. Each time you want to do something and suddenly fear comes, remind yourself, no, I'm made of a substance. I'm made of a kind of spirit. Let me tell you, each time God is giving you instructions, that's why he ends up giving you instructions that your brain can contain. Only that spirit can contain it. He said, no, you're not. The manner of spirit. To mean oh my God, the kind of spirit you're made with. Listen, behaves a certain way, thinks a certain way, acts a certain way. Of course, once and again I will tell us, have you seen yourself in light before? That's where your true identity resides. Have you seen yourself in light before? Oh, you don't know the kind of spirit you're made of. You are praying and then suddenly you feel tiredness. No, listen, your body can be what? Can be weak. I tell you, that fashion, that spirit you're made of is always willing. You can cling on it and you will keep writing. Listen, you don't know the kind of spirit you're made of. Unfortunately, experience both the devil and the works of men. He are doing something to your mind. He had to remind these guys. Bible said he rebuked them. Say, not help yourself. You are made of a substance. You'll be wired in a certain way. Oh, Kadila Saparia Kabanata. That something has been wired inside you. You've got to listen. When you buy a car, it has speedometer. Listen, speedometer is telling you. He said, if you want to doubt us. Match it. I'm trying to say, study scriptures and understand the kind of spirit you're made of. So when Bible tells you that you've received the spirit of boldness, then it's in faith. Then now it means push yourself that far. Push yourself that far. Listen, if your spirit crashes, then if you perish, you perish. Push yourself that far. Push yourself that far. Yes, you don't know the kind of spirit I'm made of. You don't know. You don't know. If I stand before a demon spirit, I remind myself I'm made of a substance. It's not this body. Sometimes it's not in my prayer life. It's the kind of spirit. I'm made of a kind of a fashion. Kabarina Sabariakata. It happened to Jesus. Remember now? Yes. On his way to the cross, of course, he began to worry, began to get tired. He knew now that what he needed to again get touch with his what? His real essence in light. And then he climbed the mountain. Then he began to pray. And Bible says how Jesus prayed. The fashion of his countenance began to alter. And Bible says what? Lemon began to grace. And suddenly, willingness began to what? Began to come. Brokenness began to come because that Jesus knew the kind of spirit he was made of. He knew. Let me tell you, the consciousness of that spirit swallows up addiction, swallows up fear, swallows anxiety. You've just consumed your consciousness. What kind of spirit? He said you've not received again the spirit of the world to fear. He said the spirit of addiction. Listen to me. Oh my God, you are made of a substance. Listen, the kind of spirit are made. You don't know. Now you see, the problem is that you really study. Each time you read the Bible, listen, keep repeating yourself. Mereije, you've got not to be scared. You have to first understand what the kind of spirit are made of. You don't know. Maybe sometimes I'm praying, and now you see, I've told us that every spiritual man, what is a sojourner, except that the journey is in what you are tempted to get synchrony with the real identity. You don't know what the kind of spirit are made of. You don't know. Let me tell you. Listen. What the preachers what saw, and he said, I've seen an abomination upon the earth. He said, where slaves ride on horses and princes on their foot. Let me tell you. Listen, any day God helps you to see yourself in light, then you realize that what you've been a prince what walking on your foot. Let me tell you that each time you were scared, you were betraying your spirit man. Each time you were behaving like as though something was wrong, it's because you don't know. He was there to call them back to order. He didn't pray for them. He didn't cast away any demon. He only needed to what? Call them back to order. No, you not. You don't know. You don't know the kind of spirit you're made of. You don't know the kind of spirit you're made of. You tell me you can't stop that thing. No, you don't. You can't stop it, but can I shock you? You don't know the kind of spirit you're made of. You don't know. Listen. Consider the kind of spirit you're made of face in your life. You can face anything. You can face anything. Push it so far. Crash and come and tell us. I'm telling you that you don't know. Remember, these guys are not born again. These guys are not born again. Yet the kind of spirit they had as a thing go withstand some certain kinds of things. Are you not surprised? Joshua now began to tell God that he was scared. God began to now he did not tell him receive boldness. He said no. But he said no. He said this guy be bold. Come alive. You have a kind of spirit. He was not. He said no. Something happened to Gideon. Gideon did not know. Listen, Gideon had the spirit of might, and yet was hiding. He said, oh, you mighty man of valor. He was still hiding, and the angel was attempting to introduce him to him. Now listen, I'm trying to say, listen, you have a kind and a version of a spirit. Each time you read the Bible, let me tell you, he said, I have many things to tell you, but you can't get them now. In the same way, I have many things I can tell you about that spirit man now, but you can't listen. They can't be taught. You don't learn them by teaching. He said, how be it when the Holy Ghost comes, he will lead you. Listen to me. As you begin to pray, suddenly boldness is coming. Suddenly something is happening to your mind. You say, hey, this is my what? My real fashion. Listen, hear me. In the book of Acts chapter 4, Bible told us that, I think verse 13 now, that when they heard the boldness of Peter and John, listen, Bible said they knew these guys, they are engaged in any external tutorship. I mean, get love in thought. They didn't go to school. A kind of spirit. Bible said for these guys have been with Jesus. Something had happened. Oh my Jesus. Hakobarakina Saba. Frekina Sabariata. Hi. You see, tonight I want to introduce you to you. You don't know how strong you are. You don't know how much you can say no. You don't know how much you can test this. You've not seen your spirit. Listen, you are living your body. Listen to me. But listen, Bible says no man after the flesh. I also tell you, no yourself. What? After the flesh. Don't know anybody and don't know yourself. Study yourself in the spirit. Study yourself. Ensure you know yourself. Jesus. River, overflow. Mighty river, overflow. River. Oh my God. Some Bible calls it the life eternal. The life eternal. Sakabarakina komalakata. Sabariakate kobaboriakata. Sababariakate kobaboriakafanas. River. Jesus. Mighty river. River. tongues. Next time you can pray the Holy Ghost so you can have touch. say, if you cannot envisage your head, listen, envisage your head. Your mind. Bible said that spirit is just what? Of boldness. Of
Oh God. Oh God. This is not me. Now that's how people pray. This is not me. Hear me. Bible told us about Benson Hausa. That his pastor was preaching and said that you can raise the dead. Now I'm just giving an example. He can raise the dead. And he said that is it written in the Bible that we can? He said, yes, show me. They showed him. He said, oh, so I have what it takes. I have listen, I'm saying you can push yourself that far. You can push yourself that far. All I want is you wake up. Listen, you think they're confused or tired. Wake up by 2 a.m. Listen, if that's the Holy Ghost, hold somebody. Everyone stand on your feet. From my ankle to my knee. You are not, you're not confused. You don't know the
spirit you are made of. I came tonight as a teacher, as I came to introduce you to a class, and that class is you. Salida Somaliata. I came with fire. Karina Samoriata. He prays, Lord. That witness in the place. That's where you coming from. Jesus, and I know this one doesn't have lust. As I woke up, and God told me that was you light. I said that was you light. I took myself to VG. I missed person that day. Introduce me to me. I was upon hours. It's not how long. It's until this head is corrected. Until this head is corrected. This is not me now. This is not me. I was saved. It was somewhere maybe at the 6th or 7th hour. My body began to change. I knew something was happening. It's as though I was going and coming out. I kept going and coming. I kept going and coming. Until just at that particular moment, I came and stayed. Hi, Jesus. I want to pray for you now. Just stand. I'll be asking the power of God to touch you now. Stand up. Jesus. Oh God. Oh God. Just close your eyes. Holy Ghost, carry me. Holy Ghost, will you come for me now? Holy Ghost, Holy Ghost. Now in the name of Jesus, I cause a reawakening. I cause a reawakening.
Jesus. Mighty deliverance upon Mount Zion. Upon Mount Zion. Come out. Come out. I call you out. Be separate. Come out. I challenge you, demon of darkness. I challenge you, demon of darkness. You demon of pain. Let her go. Thank you, Holy Spirit of God. Our time is fast spent already, so I'll have to release us. But please, as you go home tonight, my admonition, I beg or I plead, please take our time tonight. 2 hours. I'm praying tongues. It's an instruction. As you sleep, there will be an encounter. The Bible says, as you see, we become like him. Most times, it's difficult to become because you've not seen. You've been reading, you've not seen. He said, I've been hearing you with the head of my what? Of my ear. He said, but what? Now I've what? I've seen. Tonight, just pray in tongues. Don't sing. Just keep praying. Pray for 2 hours. Then go and lie down. Instruction. The Lord bless you. I said, the Lord bless you. His hand be upon you. And may the Lord grant you peace. In Jesus' name. Ushers, can help them. See you next week. Please, tonight was your first time and time is fast spent already. I think we collected their names. So, the Lord bless you.